Yo, what's up, guys? Sorry about the truck or car or whatever it was in the background, but I feel really bad, but a little bit better now. So what happened basically was my dog, right? So I went out not from like now, but when it happened. I'm not going to say what it is until later, but basically I went out about 1.5 hours ago from before what happened, and then she was completely fine. My dog, which is a beagle crossbreed with some smaller breeder dog. And then, suddenly, out of nowhere, I go out and she's like, it seemed like she was foaming at the mouth, but it was actually a lot of like slobbering or whatever it's called, something like that, like a lot of saliva coming out of her mouth. And she had her mouth open, she was like looking at me and looking at the door trying to go inside. And I was terrified, like I was worried she had rabies, but come to find out, rabies is so rare in Australia and probably even rarer in my area that I feel stupid thinking that. And I feel even worse because when she was trying to come inside, I yelled at her because I thought she had rabies, and I was I was so like anxious and stressed out. I literally threw up. Like I was freaking out because I was so scared. I was worried for her as well. And so I went to hospital, and then after found out everything was fine, I calmed down, and then went with Rose, and I was still scared in case she did have something wrong with her, but my dad called her and she came inside, and then had to put her back outside. But then Dad said if we were wearing pants or had some towels on him or something, he'd bring Rose inside and calm her down. So I put some towels on him and let her in for about 5 minutes, but yeah, and now she's looking a lot better, but she kept going in our shed that's out the back, which is really weird. She's like never in there. I've only seen her in there like one other time, and she was sleeping in there, which I don't know what's attracting her there, or maybe if something scared her away from the gate near the front. But I feel really bad for her, but it's a good thing she's getting a lot better now. Like, it only happened for a few hours, and now she's pretty much fine, and I'm really happy about that. Like, I was terrified, and I feel really bad for yelling at her because it seemed like she was terrified of something. Like, when she came inside, her tail was like down under her body, which means she was scared, and she looked just scared, and she was drooling all over the floor, so I had to get a towel and wipe it up after, but I put her in front of the heater, warm her up. And when I went out there the first time when I thought she had rabies, she was shaking really badly, and then I looked at her and I saw she was drooling all over me, and I jumped up. I was terrified because I thought she had rabies, and then come to find out she was completely fine later, but she was scared something might have attacked her or something. Like, so even if something fell on her, could make her act like that. Because one time I was moving this marble tabletop, and when I moved it, it was this close to landing on her. Thankfully it didn't, but she after that was terrified and scared of me, which I was really upset about because I didn't mean for that to happen. I was moving it, so I was leaning against the fence, I was moving it, and I was like, Rose, get out of the way! I yelled at her, like, it fell down just like this, so slowly, and then right as it was about to fall, it just sped up, and Rose just sprinted out of there. But yeah, that's the only time I've seen her this scared or anything, and now she's calmed down, but whatever has scared her like this, and yeah. But also what was scaring me is she was trying to come inside really badly. Like, she was looking at the door every time I'd do it, and I feel really bad now because I yelled at her. I was like, no, because I thought she had rabies or something really bad wrong with her. But come to find out, she might have just been stressed out or something. And God, just thinking about it, like, my heart rate was like 150 beats per second, which quite a bit high. Like, I was stressed out really badly. My oxygen levels, my blood levels were actually really, really good. So hopefully my dog stays okay, and soon we're going to close up the shed, because it's like almost 6 a.m. in the morning. Oh God, I still feel like shit after what happened. Like, I've never been that stressed out. Like, I've come close to being that stressed out when I was really scared about, like, what happens when you die when I was younger. I was just terrified. And now, part of me was worried, most of me was worried for Rose, and then the other part of me was like, what if I get rabies? What if I die? And, Jesus, so, at least she's okay now. Wow, the moon looks weird in the camera. It does not look like that in person. You can see the moon clearly. It's just behind like a little layer of cloud. Yeah, so my dog is a lot better, but she was drooling all over the floor. And I have almost never felt this bad about anything I've done, like with her or anything, but that has to be on the top, near the top of the list, because the only other really bad thing I've done when I was really young, when I wasn't like respecting or anything, because I was like 7 years old or whatever, I was a little shit, I threw her over this pole we have in the thing, and now I still to this day, like 7 years later, feel so bad for that. It's just, I can't believe I did that, but I also feel really bad now because I yelled at her when she was actually really scared and stressed out, and I know how that feels, because when I was really scared about getting rabies or whatever, my dad was just yelling at me. I was like, why? I was literally to the point where I was about to cry because I felt so sick and so like shit. I just wanted to go to the hospital. And he said, if you throw up, we'll go to the hospital. And what do you know, 5 minutes later, I throw up. And to be honest, I know this is going to sound weird, but I've never thrown up and it actually felt really good. And I know that sounds really weird and kind of wrong, but in terms of, like, I've never threw up and then felt, like, so much better afterwards. I felt absolutely like shit. But it just, like, after all the stuff was out of my stomach and I was a bit more calmed down, then, so, we're going to teach my dog to be an inside dog soon. She's, like, 8 years old, too. Oh, I've never seen her like that, but I feel really bad for yelling at her. I know I'm just going on about, like, the same thing over and over again, but I've never felt this bad about something with her, like, because I know how it feels, because I was really stressed out and everything, and then my dad's just yelling at me, like, to calm down and everything. It was just, like, yeah, so I feel really bad for Rose. So, I'm gonna, so we brought her inside, and then, yeah, it was kind of hard to calm her down, but I was worried she was scared of me for another reason, because, you know how dogs have the snout where, like, out of their face it kind of extends? I kept booping her on the nose. I was worried for some reason that would scare her, but I don't think it was because of that. It might be after what happened, because I yelled at her because she was trying to come in. Like, I yelled at her, like, Rose, no! Like, actually viciously, because I was fucking terrified that she had rabies. And I don't know why, but I was terrified, like, God. I'm even now stressed out, like, 5 hours later. Like, already my mum's in hospital because she thought she had, I think it's pneumonia, where you have fluid in your lungs. And she's coming back, well, today. Ow, fuck, what did I just step on? I've got bare feet and I'm walking out on the concrete. But yeah, so this was just an episode explaining what happened tonight. It was fucking crazy. So I'm gonna close up the shed, and I might stay out with her more at night to make sure nothing happens to her. And we've got this pool full of rubbish, which you might have seen in one of my other videos on my other channel. Shh. I know. Oh my God. Fuck's sake. You keep showing me shit that I don't care about. No! God. He's trying to show me something on his phone from, like, Facebook or whatever. which keeps just being stuff I've either already seen or was just stupid. But yeah, hopefully, I hope my dog isn't scared of me or anything, because I was really scared, and I thought she had rabies, so I yelled at her because she was trying to come inside, and I was so scared at that moment that she was going to bite me or something, because she had her jaw like hanging open and just drool coming all out of her mouth, and it kind of looked like she was foaming at the mouth, but I don't think she was. And now I feel bad because now I see she was really stressed or scared or something like that. And yeah, so might do some more dog videos soon. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.